Are you having trouble controlling snacking throughout the day? Let's talk about a few tips to help with that. The first tip is to make sure that you're spreading your meals out throughout the day and that you're paying attention to the times that you're eating those meals. And so this has to do with our circadian clock or circadian rhythm, and you've probably heard about that when it comes to sleep. But when it comes to meal timing throughout the day, we actually have hormones that will fluctuate and kind of get used to our eating schedule. So if you eat at the same time each day, you will have upregulation in hunger hormones around that same time that you eat, and that is going to be beneficial because if those hunger hormones are upregulating at the time that you're eating and you're actually eating that meal, that's going to prevent them from rising at different times that throughout the day that might cause hunger and cravings and potentially cause you to snack more. So just paying attention to your meal timing throughout the day and spreading those meals out so that you have a good amount of food in those meals as well is going to be super important. So like I just mentioned, making sure that you're actually eating enough food at your main meals is going to be super important to help you stay fuller longer, right? Make sure that you are satisfied for a long period of time after you're eating that meal. That's going to help you to not snack as much throughout the day. And with that, making sure that you're actually planning your meals ahead of time is going to be super important as well. So this is one of the biggest things that I make sure that I drill into my client's head is that you need to prep for success. So if you're someone who is struggling with snacking throughout the day, it might mean that you're just not planning your day out accordingly and you're not having your set meals ready to go. So that is going to be a huge way to just kind of put things on autopilot. You go into your day, you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner ready to go. You know what you're going to eat. They're meals that are, satisfying. They're going to keep you full for hours. And so you're not going to be, grabbing a snack an hour after you eat if it is a good amount of food and it keeps you satisfied. So making sure that you're just preparing for success, you're thinking about your meals ahead of time, that's going to be a really, really easy way to minimize snacking throughout the day. Another point to that is just make sure that your meals contain enough foods that are high in fiber, high satiety. So if you struggle with feeling full after your meals, making sure that you're adding in, higher fiber foods, making sure that you're getting enough protein, enough healthy fats, things that are going to keep you full for longer. So we know that not adding fiber, but having, foods that are high in fiber, so vegetables, fruits, things like that is going to slow digestion down. And so that's going to make you feel fuller longer. And then also making sure that you're getting enough healthy fats in your meal is going to be important too, because that's also going to help slow digestion down. And that will keep you fuller longer. So all of these things will play into helping to reduce snacking throughout the day. So I mentioned protein. Protein is huge. Protein is going to keep you satisfied for a long period of time. Protein is the most satisfying nutrient out of all of the macronutrients, fat and carbs. Protein is the number one. So making sure that you have enough protein in your main meals is going to be super important to keep you full throughout the day. And that kind of just piggybacks off the last one. Another tip is to set your environment up for success. So this is a huge one, whether it's at home or at work, making sure that you are setting yourself up to, make it as easy as possible for yourself to get away from the snacking. So if you have snacks available, if you know that you have snacks like in your desk drawer at work or in your cabinet or pantry at home, and you know they're there, they're going to be tempting you. Like even if you have the best willpower in the world, those snacks are going to tempt you. So making sure that you're just setting yourself up for success when it comes to setting your environment up and just keeping those things maybe out of sight, out of mind, and that's just going to make it a lot easier for you in general. The last tip is to just distract yourself. So if you find yourself going for a snack and you truly know that you're not actually hungry, just do something that will distract you. So I like to, go for a walk. I like to take a hot bath, maybe, call a friend, text a friend, listen to a podcast, something that's just distracting me from that snack. And if I am still truly hungry, 10 or 15 minutes later after I've distracted myself, then I know that it's probably true hunger versus just a craving. And a lot of snacking comes from just cravings. And this is especially true if you're snacking due to stress. So if you have higher stress levels, distracting yourself can be super helpful to help stave off those cravings and help you to prevent you from reaching for that snack. So just make sure that you can find something that, distracts you, whether it's, like I said, taking a bath, calling a friend, whatever it may be. And then if you're hungry 15 to 20 minutes later, then go ahead and have a meal. I would say if you're gonna have a snack and it's kind of outside of your regular meal times, or it's an additional snack, choosing protein is probably going to be your best option. The reason for that is because we know that protein is actually the hardest macronutrient to store as body fat. And we've seen that in the research, especially recent research has showed us that protein is the hardest macronutrient to store as body fat. So if we overeat protein a little bit, it's not gonna do as much damage, so to speak, versus carbs and fats. So that's just a little takeaway, but we do have some recent research coming out on that, which is super cool. So those are just some simple tips to help reduce snacking. There's of course other ones, but hopefully that will help get you started. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to learn more about nutrition, fitness, or metabolic flexibility, you can check out our website, metflexlife.com. There you can find our podcast, MetFlex and Chill, our nutrition and exercise programs, our latest blog posts, free recipes, and much more.